What's up, everybody? It's your boy mel.on.mars. Thank you so much for joining me today. Guys, it's time for part 2 of male versus black women. If you haven't seen part 1, I suggest you go back and look at it now. Then come back to part 2. But guys, like I said in part 1, by definition, I am a troll. But I never try to hurt anyone intentionally. I just try to have healthy conversations, healthy debates in order to get to an ultimate solution or to move on. I just get a different point of view, a different perspective out there. But guys, don't want to waste any more time. Let's get into this right now. Male versus black women, part 2. Guys, I hope you guys buckle up. This is going to be crazy. It's from the Instagram page Black Slaying It. So you know what it's going to be about. So it was a video that they posted. And of course, hundreds and thousands of people almost commented on it, and I was one of them. Let's go over it.
I need to tell you guys a quick story, so listen up. Me and my girls, we went out. One happens to be Middle Eastern and the other one is Brazilian. By the way, they're both drop dead gorgeous. Anyways, we're chilling, having a drink, and this group of guys, they come and they approach us, right? So we're talking, chilling, whatever, and this one black guy, he looks at me and he's like, it's kind of weird that you're chilling with them. And I go, excuse me, what? And he goes, you know, like, usually girls that look like you wouldn't chill with girls that look like them. So at this point, I'm confused and I need him to elaborate what he's trying to say because I'm not getting it. This guy goes, you know, black women usually have an insecurity complex when it comes to women that are lighter skin or foreign, and they feel inferior to them, you know? No, sir, I don't know. I turn around, I look at my girl and I'm like, mas esse moço tá louco, speaking in Portuguese. And this guy goes, oh my God, where are you from? So now this guy is intrigued to find out what I just told my girl, and my girl goes, oh, we were speaking Portuguese. And he goes, how do you speak Portuguese? It's my native tongue, that's how I speak Portuguese. And then he goes, where are you from? I go, I'm from Germany. And he goes, oh, now it makes sense. You're not really a black woman, that's why you're chilling with them. I get it. When I tell y'all that this man switched up on me, I mean he completely switched up. He no longer saw the black woman. All he saw was this exotic lotus flower bomb. All of a sudden, I became attractive to him because I was different. So he even said, he was like, you know what, I don't deal with black girls, but you, I will make an exception. You're just wow. As if I should feel honored about that. Like, really? All of a sudden, I was no longer a black woman. For some odd reason, I became this exotic creature, and the negative stereotypes no longer applied to me. There are so many amazing black women out there that get overlooked on a daily basis just because being black is simply not good enough. And this is also the exact same reason why you have females talking about 50% Puerto Rican, 3% Irish, 90% Asian, just to appeal to guys that think like that. It is crazy how a lot of black men would not even consider dating or dealing with a black woman unless she throws a little mixture in it, unless she's a little different. Then all of a sudden, that blackness gets voided, it gets revoked, you no longer see it. Listen, that's not a preference, that's a fetish. Listen, I don't care who you date. If that person makes you happy, then hey, kudos to you. But do not bash the women of your own race just because they are not what you prefer. The reason why I decided to share this story is because there are so many amazing black women out there that get overlooked on a daily basis just because being black is simply not good enough.
All right, guys. So for the most part, I agree with her. I agree that there's a lot of people who act like this and a lot of men who think like this. So I mostly agree with her. So I had to chime in, add my 2 cents, 50 cents. Okay, 85 cents. All right, guys, so as you can see, I stated, I'm not saying it's right, but we are all prejudiced. Admit it. Majority of men don't want the black girl attitude. It's not about their skin color. So, guys, I don't know how you feel about that. Of course, it's the universe, so if you disagree with what I'm saying or agree, I definitely would love to hear you in the comment section. But what I'm trying to say is that we all have our certain prejudice and we all have our certain stereotypes. and black men have those. We tend to accept those and try to prove you wrong or just say forget it. I believe white people, Indian people, Asian people, everybody pretty much have your stereotypes that the majority of the culture believes. It's up to that person to treat that person fairly, regardless of those stereotypes. So as you can see, I have 44 replies. So this sparked up a bit of a conversation. Let's dive in it, guys. We ain't scared. The first lady said, "What's the black girl attitude exactly?" Somebody else stated, "Well, I don't want the black man attitude or his insecurity either. White dudes are where it's at. They're so insecure about white men, they have bashed their own women to try to look better." Now, this same woman whoever this is, just said that she preferred white men or white dudes. But then she said black men are insecure about white men, so we bash our own women. I don't understand that. You just said what you prefer, so black men can't have a preference and it's bashing. Guys, you're going to see this word bash. You already heard the lady say it so many times. I've been trying to get a concrete answer of what this is, but I came to a conclusion of what this word bashing means. The word bashing means to tell the truth harshly. That's what the word bashing has been created to be. Don't get me wrong. You look it up in the dictionary, you're going to see the word bashing means to physically hurt somebody, to physically smash on somebody's head or whatever, like Hulk. But black people have turned the word bashing into speaking the truth about somebody in a harsh way or openly. It's straight up some bull crap. But let's keep going. So I'm responding to the first lady. I said not all of them, but stereotypically, they are loud, rude, self-centered, foul-mouthed, disrespectful, daddy issues, etc. I responded to the other lady. Happy for you. And I'm happy that she found white guys that she liked. Good for her. I think it's a gentleman here. He says, to them white men. He says, to them, white men can do no wrong. And I found out this locomotive gal is just a troll herself. But she's a troll that hides her face. And honestly, guys, every single person on this thing that was talking noise, they had private pages. I'm just being real. My page is open to the public, to anybody. If I talk noise, you can come talk to me. You can come flag my stuff. You can do anything you want to do. My page is open. She said, that's a stereotype. What's your point? I can list stereotypes about all different demographics. Duh, that is the point. We all have stereotypes. But you asked me a question. And the lady responded, the other lady, how about we realize that there are over 7 billion people on Earth and that not all people of the same race fall into the same stereotype? Because OMG, humans are different from each other sometimes. What? I responded to that guy up here. Truth. She responded, true. True said white men don't bash their own women. Just going off their definition of the word bash. Is that true, guys? You let me know in the comment section. Do white men bash their own women? You let me know. Because I could have sworn I see white men talk bad about white women all the time. Call them whores and all kind of stuff. They talk bad about their own mama. So I don't know what she talking about. But she would know because she with them. I responded to Locomotive comment to me. I said, that's my point. We all are prejudiced. When we understand that, we won't be upset so often when we experience that prejudice. When we experience the prejudice that are projected upon us. I think it's another guy. He says, Mel.on.Mars, they have the white savior complex, bro. when one black guy acts up, they think that the white man will accept them with open arms. Then I responded to that one chick up here, the first chick that said something. I said, did you read that I said not all, dear? Which they don't really care. You can say not all, you can say all. They still gonna just take what you say out of context. I said that doesn't mean people don't have certain prejudices. I don't know if I said that right or not. Then somebody else came back and said, what is the black girl attitude? I responded to the guy, my man up here, said true. Here go my first gay remark from some lady. Says, put Whitey's D back in your mouth and shut the F up. Another lady says, and black men are perfect. Like there's a list of issues we don't like about y'all either. But how often do you see black women bash you? There we go again, guys. I think black women, the majority of black women just got a certain playbook and a certain vocabulary they just read off. Just a script they read off. It just got to say the same thing no matter who they talking to or what they talking about. They say the same stuff. So I responded to, I don't know who I responded to. Oh, the person who asked person who said, what's the black girl attitude? I said, not all. I always put it in caps or whatever. Try to stand out. Cause I already know they're going to say not all. Just get it out the way. But stereotypically, they are loud, rude, self-centered, use vulgarity on extreme levels, daddy issues, delusion, etc. Now, if anybody reading this and seeing this video, I'm personally not talking about all black women. I'm just talking about what the stereotype is. And the stereotype is what it is. You just got to prove it wrong. That's just what it is. Like somebody see me as a heavyweight black dude, they gonna probably think I'm lazy. Don't work hard, don't take care of my kids, they try to think all kind of crazy stuff about me, but it's my job when I meet somebody to prove them wrong. I think I responded to the lady up here that had something to say about bashing. I said, to answer your question in sequential order, no, we are not perfect, and every day. She asked, how often do I see black women bashing you? Every day. Locomotive guy responding again, mel.on.mars. You keep listening to that like it's relevant. We both know it. It should be K-N-O-W. It's not true. Stereotypically, black men are ugly. Look at this stupid mess. Black men are ugly animals, fat, aggressive, stupid, and can't take care of their kids. See, I just said that. now what? I responded to Eva Calf, or the one that told me go suck a D. I said clever, but I will leave that to you. You do it better. Boy, I got her back. I don't even think she responded. We're gonna skip over the locomotive person. Y'all can read that if y'all want. She was really, I think I responded to her one more time, or maybe twice. I only listed because I was asked both times. You just described America as a whole when she described the way black men are. Besides, the taking care of the kids part, of course. However, I suggest you look at the recent stats regarding black men taking care of their kids. It might shock you. I asked the locomotive gal, do you know the definition of bash? Here goes the one chick that replied, said, laughing my A off. Every day there's a black woman who fault of a black man failure. What? Tell me this. Why is it y'all like Latina women, some who partially have black men in them, have black in them, with stank attitudes like us? She admits like us. But don't bash them for it. What makes them different? I respond to her. Personally, I can't answer for guys to do that. My thoughts are, if you are going to go to a different race culture, go all the way there. I wouldn't date a woman of another race that acts like what I came from. I might as well stay where I'm at. So to that question, I'm okay with saying I don't have the answer. My wife is black, and don't fall into the stereotypes, by the way. mel.on.mars, what you say? Laugh my A off because you know the contradiction is true. I responded, for sure. However, that doesn't change my earlier statements. And this is when it gets really good, guys. Me and this lady goes and get into it pretty heavy. She said, I'm trying to understand. There are billions of people on this earth, majority of which are people of color. How do you stereotype a whole group of women based off where you were raised? So because I guess you came from, all black women were complete walking stereotypes. That means all black women are like that. How? Every stereotype you ranted off about could be applied to any single group of people. This is completely sad, and you're basically reinforcing her whole point. And I replied to her. I said, you totally missed my point, dear. My point is we all have prejudice. I'm not saying that it's right. I'm saying it's a fact. If you see a white male come inside of school with a long trench coat on at 90-degree weather, I don't know what I'm trying to say, in 90-degree weather, what will be your first thought? It takes people to be open. It takes people to open their minds to truly understand our differences and go beyond our prejudices. I keep saying prejudices. I don't know what I'm saying. She replied, I didn't speak on the whole thing about the prejudice because you're correct in that. And if I see anybody in a trench coat in 90-degree weather, I'll be suspicious, period. Not because that person is white. Because I grew up in the hood. Mind you guys, keep this in mind from going forward. Because I grew up in the hood, and at my high school, we had a sizable goth population that wore a lot of trench coats, mostly black people, by the way. But because it's a person in a trench coat in 90-degree weather. But you're missing the point in what we're saying. It is okay for your personal experience to shape your perspective. That is completely normal. But the point you are missing is that it is completely illogical to assume based off your personal experience in your small community of a people that a majority, not as you keep saying, of them are stereotypically a certain. The only way you can make that assumption is that you have met every single black woman that roams this earth. That's straight bull crap. I hate when people say that. That would be like me saying, based off the few racist incidents I've had with white people, that the majority, not all of course, of them are racist. It would be completely illogical, is all I'm saying. I replied, I see your point and I comprehend. However, I would say that when it comes to black women, people use more than their personal interactions and or small community to form their prejudice. In addition to that, they use what they see on TV, movies, and social media. The easy rebuttal for you will be the media is trying to portray black women in a bad light. I would disagree totally with that. Majority of the TV shows and or movies are owned, produced, and directed by black women and black men who love black women. Then, of course, we know that there are tons of black women, not all, that purport themselves horribly on their own social media platforms. Who is forcing them to do that? I can spend the rest of the day showing you example after example of IG pages of girls being proud of carrying out every stereotype. And here we go with more bullcrap. And stuff we already know but doesn't change the facts. Honey, what you are speaking of are consequences of systematic racism. You seem like an intelligent man. You can't judge the effects of something without asking about the cause. And And we all know the root. Yes, we all know the root. So why talk about it? And unfortunately, yes, some black people play into the stereotypes, but I notice it's mostly due to ignorance. And ignorance that we as a community need to educate each other on. What more education does everybody need, guys? I'm sorry. What more education does everybody need? Like, especially adults. I can see if you're young and you impressionable and you really just trying to do things to make yourself look cool. But if you grown, 30, 40, why do I need to educate you? It's not about education, it's about what you want to do. But let's keep going. We have problems in the black community, but they didn't come from our thin air. Until we can unite, they will continue. Especially in areas where poverty seems to be a consistent cycle, and no need for examples. I live in the hood, and because I'm human and understand that other people are human, instead of seeing such a bunch of people who are loud, ignorant, and ratchet, I see people who has not managed to break cycles of mental bondage and has been put in place. And until we can get people to see that there is a root cause and understand that our circumstances are in our history does not define us or perseverance as a people, it will not change. My point is to not judge everybody. That's another thing black people overuse, not judge. My point is not to judge. Everybody is trying to live their best lives. How can you say all this stuff up top about what they're not doing or what they need to be educated on and saying now they living their best lives? Unfortunately, in the ghetto, it has been unconsciously ingrained in us that this is as good as it this is as good as it ever get for us. And until we change the mentality of our people, it won't change. But the bashing thing, here we go, doesn't help. And I get your point about the media, but I respectfully disagree because the industry is ran by white Jews, white Jewish men. Hopefully the more people wake up, they will change. White Jewish men own BET, right? White Jewish man putting these people on VH1, on Hip Hop of Atlanta and all this stuff. Okay. I replied, agreed. I am fully aware and believe everything you stated. However, I choose to have a different approach. I love and speak life into everyone, but I only help those who honestly wants to be helped. Let me read that one more time, guys. I choose to have a different approach. I love and speak life into everyone, but I only help those who honestly wants to be helped. I've been asking this question for years without an actual answer. What does the word bashing mean to black people? Because when I look it up in the dictionary, it is defined in a completely different way than the context that you are using. And this is why I began to lose interest in this conversation, but I kept going anyway. But listen to her reply. That seems kind of counterproductive, though. If you're coming from a place of love and light, you would speak life into them regardless of whether or not you think they honestly need your help. But because honestly, people lie all the time about needing help. What the world? That would be like me refusing to educate people simply because they're ignorant. No, it's not like that. And only speaking to those who only have knowledge, which would be counterproductive because no one is learning, just agreeing with one another. I can speak for black people because I'm just one. I can't speak for black people because I'm just one black person. And I'm certain we all don't have the same definitions. That's some bull crap. We all don't have the same definitions. Now, we can talk all we want about what white people do, comparing ourselves to white people and other cultures. I ain't never heard nobody say we all got different definitions. What sense does that make? And I try not to get hung up on technical definitions because unbeknownst to a lot of people, they change definition of words frequently. What? But bashing to me means, okay, we're going to say what it means to her instead of what the word actually means. Judgment without understanding. Oh my God. But since you do understand, as stated earlier, to me it makes it worse. Because it seems as if you are saying a lot of these black women with the black girl attitudes are undesirable and undeserving simply because they are who they are. I never said that. I would think with your understanding and ability to speak life into people that you wouldn't or at least be able to understand why the whole black girl attitude thing is hurtful to black women, especially coming from a black man with a black wife. There are plenty of white women and non-black women, here we go, and non-black women of color who have black girl attitudes, but they get glorified and are considered sassy. But it's just ghetto and ratchet when it comes from when it's a black woman. I replied, I think you misread what I stated. I do speak life into everyone. I only help those who make it clear to me that they actually desire my help. Who changes definition? I said, who changes definition of words all the time? I'm not referring to Urban Dictionary, sis. The definition of bash is violent physical assault. So I would say that word is being used incorrectly by you. As a black man, I commented on this post what the overall view is of the majority of black women. I'm not saying that it's good. I'm not saying that I'm good with it, but I understand it. My wife and I do our part to lead by example and again help those who desire help. She replied, Sir, you don't speak life into everyone if they have to ask for help in order for you to do it, is what I'm saying. She's still missing what I'm saying. But anyway, it don't matter. If it's coming from the heart, you would do it regardless, is my point. No, you don't help people who don't want to be helped. Is that not the saying? Is that not what we go live by? Well, I'm going to force help on somebody who are comfortable being where they want to be. That don't make sense. There shouldn't be a criteria. This wonderful government, that's sarcasm by the way, that we keep in place is who? Oh, she's saying who changed definition. I've seen the definition of racism get changed 3 times within the last 5 years. Like I stated before, I'm not into technicality. Definitions change all the time. And I don't use the Urban Dictionary, honey. In this case, we call it metaphorically bashing then. What? Since you need to be technical, my point is, since you need to be technical, my point is we know as black women that the world thinks what the world thinks of us, whether it's due to racism, ignorance, mass media influence, etc. I understand it too. I see it and I live it. My point is, there are just as many black men that ride for us as there are black men who bash us. Insert whatever word you would like. As someone who understands what I'm saying, I mainly am trying to get you to understand the black girl attitude thing is kind of productive. No other race talks down about their women for the whole world to see. Let me address that real fast. The second time we heard that. Name me the group of women that operate like ours do in public as often as ours do. Yeah, you got your white women here and there that does that. Yeah, you got your Hispanic women here and there that does that. But in mass, in groups. I mean, as soon as you click on girl fight in Google, you would get at least 5 videos of black women fighting before you get any other race. Let's just be real about this thing. There's nobody doing what our women are doing, so you don't have to be called out as often. But we did, like I said earlier, there are men who do that from from other races, from my knowledge. But they said no other. So, all right. The way black men do. And don't get me wrong, just as many black women do it to black men. I appreciate her for stating that. And I understand where that comes from too. But I would never say black men are undesirable or undeserving, because insert stereotype, not only would I be helping to reinforce the stereotype to white people and non-pox. I don't know what you mean by that. By agreeing or partially agreeing with it, but I would also be reinforcing the idea that we are exactly what they think of us, which we are not. And I'm glad you do. Most people don't talk the talk. Kudos to you and sis. And I say much appreciated. I don't subscribe to the notion that speaking truth is counterproductive. Nor do I subscribe to not speaking about said truth in front of other races and our cultures. There is no longer anything to be hidden. There's no longer anything to keep hidden. How many people agree with me with that? Like, why we gotta act like this is just a secret thing that's going on between us? It's so much. Everything is out. Everything's on the table. My stance remains the same. There's a reason why statistically black women are the least married group of women, and it has nothing to do with their skin tone. All right, guys. So now she's going back to the black woman script. How many guys have heard this before? Shaking my head. That's sad. Heard that about 1 billion times. Which said, that's sad that you believe that as a truth. This same truth that others will apply to your black wife, who you claim is not said stereotype. But I guarantee the rest of the world that has this same mindset will see her just the same. Categorize her just the same. Label her just the same. Loud, ignorant, and ratchet, without even knowing her. Even though she is not, just because of her skin, not because of the black girl attitude she does not possess. To you, she is the exception. To you, she is the exception, not the rule. To them, she is merely a walking statistic who probably isn't married, with 3 kids by different men, who lives in the hood and is on welfare. The fact that you know different because you are her husband means absolutely nothing. That is what they will see, because that is the perception of black women, because of the color of her skin. It sounds like a Maya Angelou poem. And statistics to me are laughable, especially considering their source and the fact that all this is part of the system. Now that's some bullcrap, guys, because these same people who say statistics are laughable or non-valid because of the source they come from are the same people who celebrate when they say black women are the most educated people in the world or in America. Or they say, all the positive stats they say about black people, but at the same time, we know most of those stats are tilted. So if you can't celebrate one and hate the others. It just don't work that way. But let's keep going. They would also have you believe that a lot of black men are married to non-black women, when the bulk of them are married to black women. But keep using those statistics to prove your point, but they don't mean nothing. They don't mean much to me. But thanks, I guess. I already knew the statistic anyway, but thanks for the refresher. And my point in all of this is agreeing to this negative stereotypes of black women hurt all of us, with black girl attitudes or not. And you agreeing to it just further helps their agenda. I'm sure they will thank you. So I digress. It seems you've learned absolutely nothing from our interaction. This makes me draw a comparison. It's like talking to a white person about our struggles, but instead of them understanding, they just want to listen long enough to make a rebuttal or scream reverse racist. Black women come in all colors, sizes, religions, they got to do anything, or not, mindsets and circumstances, with or without the black girl attitude. But thanks for the very pleasant interaction, even though much wasn't accomplished. Signed, a black woman from the ghetto with, as they believe, a so-called black girl attitude. Man, it's like she copy and pasted Maya Angelou poem. And I replied, I said, "You're absolutely correct. Most people do put my wife in that category and stereotype initially. However, she really enjoys proving them wrong whenever possible. She is naturally a very sweet lady. The problem with a lot of our women is they enjoy proving the stereotypes right. If you call them loud, they respond by screaming at you, 'I'm not loud!' I don't think it's sad at all, the stance that I choose to have. And I wasn't seeking education on this specific matter. I didn't pull my opinion out of my Sorry guys, I told you sometime on Saturday I just started cussing. I don't know why. Saturday morning I just cuss. Pray for me. It's what I research, do, and discuss every week on my YouTube channel. If you would like, I can send you a link to a video of my wife and I discussing a similar topic. Also, I would love to have you as a featured guest on my channel. I too enjoyed this dialogue and would love to discuss this and other issues with someone as intelligent as yourself." She replied, "Thank you for the invite. I'll give it some thought and let you know. Awesome. Enjoy your day, dear. Thank you. You do the same." See, guys, I'm a nice guy. I promise you. Even when I'm having debates and all kind of stuff, I'm never going off. Unless you go off on me, I got a rebuttal. I'm sorry. But I'm always trying to be cordial, trying to be nice, and really trying to get an understanding. Too many of us have discussions, arguments to persuade, and we really should have them for understanding. Even what she said in this, she said, you didn't learn anything from our interaction. I wasn't trying to learn anything. I was trying to say my point and give you understanding from where I'm coming from. I got complete understanding of where you're coming from. That don't mean we have to agree. That's why I believe so many people get angry and get volatile and hostile when we have debates and arguments, because we just focusing on changing someone's mind instead of getting an understanding. How much better would this world be, guys, if we focus and get that complete understanding and not try to persuade and change somebody's mind and force them to think the way that we do?
Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. If you don't know already, my name is mel.on.mars, and Mars stands for music, athletics, relationship, and spirituality. Every Sunday I do a spirituality video. Every Tuesday I release an athletics video. Every Wednesday I release a relationship video. And every Thursday I release a music topic video. Guys, you don't want to miss this. This thing is growing more and more every single day, and I don't want you to miss anything. I want you to become one of my subscribers. For my subscribers, I affectionately call them the universe. Why the universe? Well, the word universe is defined as all existing matter and space considered as one whole. And that's what I want. I want all my subscribers, whether you share my opinions, you share my beliefs, or you disagree with them, I want you to be a part of this so we can have this open dialogue, and hopefully we all can become better. Whether you educated me, I'm educating you. Let's do this thing together, and let's have a good time. On this journey with me, guys, you will have some laughter, you may shed some tears, you're going to be educated, but all in all, you will be definitely entertained. There's a couple things I need you to do before you exit out this video. First, in a couple seconds, you're going to see my chubby face pop up right here. Once you see that, click it. And when you click it, it's going to allow you to subscribe to my channel. Secondly, right next to that, you're going to see an option with a bell. That bell will allow you to have notifications come up every time I have a video, so I can get your instant reaction. And lastly, you're going to also see a video that's perfectly for you come up in this corner. Click that video. If you haven't seen it already, check it out. Let me hear what you guys say about it. Guys, this thing is growing and growing every single day, and I only can grow even more based on your support. So I need you guys to like my videos, share it with your friends, comment, let me hear what you guys say about these topics. I know I talk a lot of crap. I know I talk about a lot of controversial topics, but don't be afraid to comment on it. Don't be afraid to say your true opinion. I want to hear that. Again, this is a universe. I want you guys to be a part of it. I want all of our collective thoughts to come together and create something better and a change for this world. It's your boy Mel on Mars. I love you, and let's grow. Peace.